Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. All right, everyone. We are back for another episode.
Yay!
We have been talking power in public.
Yes.
And we decided today's episode would be a good time to bring in some examples.
How to implement it.
How to implement it, whether you're brand new, starting out, looking for ideas. Maybe you've tried it a few times. Maybe they worked well. Maybe they didn't. Maybe some of our examples here will help. We've kind of based it on mostly like a night if we was to go out.
Yes.
Because, well, obviously that's what we fucking know.
That is true. That is true. There's so much we don't know because our dynamic is ours.
It's ours.
We're
and ours
honest. We're honest about that.
Yep. So let's get right into it and hopefully give you some good examples here. So first and foremost, you want to start with a smaller situation like a night out on the town. Maybe you're going to a restaurant. It could be a movie theater. It could be something casual, but you're going out in public. You're going to be around different age people.
Yes.
Particularly a restaurant, depending on what restaurant you go to. You could pick a more fancier, higher class restaurant, and that would kind of eliminate some of the younger crowds.
Right.
But depending on how you want to do it. But beforehand, maybe the Dom can just make all the plans, make everything that needs to be done.
That's what you do for us.
And just, well, I say the man because that's me.
Right. Maybe the Dom.
Maybe the dominant could just tell the submissive, hey, we've got plans this day, this time. I'm going to have your outfit picked out. Make sure you're ready. We got to leave the house at this time,
But okay. Us women, we put on makeup and we do all kinds of stuff based on the colors of the outfit. So the outfit, you'll have it ready and waiting then, right?
Yeah.
So the plan is that
What if the Dom comes in and says, I want fucking minimal makeup?
Well, then that's what we do.
Exactly. So.
Because you're the Dom.
The Dom sets the tone.
I don't know about this sometimes.
Yeah, well, I do.
I made some choices.
Yeah, well.
And I married into it, so I'm here now.
That's right. But yeah, let them know that give them enough heads up and enough notice if you can. I usually don't make plans. My plans are usually spur of the moment. Hey, fuck, I
disagree.
Let's go do this.
Yes, but you do make the plans.
I do make the plans, yeah, but normally they're not planned out.
In advance. No, it would be nice, but those are not.
Right.
I mean, although that's a lie too, because we do all the time when we make plans to go to the club because there's an event, we already have plans. But you do not, I don't know. I think I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I think you just backed yourself into a corner, sir.
It's all right. I'm good at getting out of corners.
No.
So the dominant will want to let the submissive know, that this night it is a power exchange night. That's a good time to lay out your expectations.
Yes.
If there's any special rules for the night, if there's anything new that may need to be negotiated beforehand, maybe you've got an idea. So now would be a good time, to run that by, do a little pre-negotiation to make sure your night kind of goes as planned.
Yes.
Side note here, almost guarantee your night will not go as planned.
Right. So
something will change.
you're
So
going to have to be flexible.
gotta be
Like you're going to
flexible.
make all the plans, but also don't get so wrapped up into it that it screws up your night when
Right.
something goes off
Right.
because
It
it
will. It
happens.
will. Almost
Yep.
guarantee it. It will. But yeah, lay out their clothing, maybe some kind of special lingerie or something you'd like for them to wear under it. Um,
No accessories are needed.
accessories are always needed.
Accessories, and we're talking kink accessories here.
Accessories are always needed. And those accessories could be anything from a butt plug to Benoit balls to a remote controlled vibrator.
All of which we have.
Yes, many of.
Thankfully, I do not mind these accessories.
I know you don't. You used to mind a couple of them, but you've gotten better with them.
Yep. And then
Well,
we just had that whole episode on
yep.
collaring.
So you got to make sure and pick out a collar, put it on.
Even if it's a temporary one just for the night.
Yeah. And if it's not a collared submissive, it could be a choker. It could be something, just something to kind of represent a part of that dynamic. I know a lot of women that wear chokers that may or may not claim to be a submissive. I mean, it is a good accessory
Yeah.
to women's outfits. So, some kind of choker, day collar, or an actual collar, depending on your dynamic.
That just triggered something. If you are not living with your partner, then you would have to arrive early to pick out said outfit. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yes, you would. And then you want to give them some clear guidance around expectations based on your desires. And, this is kind of where you can set the tone, kind of back them up against the wall, grab their hands, put them above their head, lean down to their ear, just kind of let them know I'm in control tonight.
Okay, I just melted. This
Yeah.
is why I'm a submissive right there.
And by that, especially if you're going to a restaurant, let them know I'm going to order for you. Lay out some special guidelines, some special rules. Maybe you want to spice things up a little bit, such as don't make eye contact with anyone except me.
Oh my God. I think that would be so hard. Good thing I sit on the inside of you. All
Yep.
right, keep going.
Some special rules that you could throw out there that could make things a little interesting is let them know sometime before we get home, I want you to go somewhere and take a sexy picture. So this kind of gives them a timeline. They don't know exactly what time or what all the plans are.
Exactly.
They don't know how long you're going to be out. They don't know exactly where you're going. So now they're having to think and prepare, the ride up there. They're thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go?
Right.
So it kind of adds a little hype, a little energy into the submissive while doing that. The drive up there. No, let me back up. Shit, we ain't left the house yet, have we?
No.
So we just got through laying out some guidelines. So yeah, so now you're ready and I'm ready and it's time to go. Now for us, we have made it pretty obvious how we do things. And I think it is something every dominant should do. I don't believe a submissive should touch a door handle.
But there are people who have a
different
master
dynamic.
slave
Yep.
dynamic, or maybe their submissive is more like a servant type
I can see that.
personality where they're required to open the door. Or
Right.
if I'm a female dom, maybe that's what I need in my life.
Submissive. Yeah.
The submissive is
would
going to
open
be
the door.
opening my door for me.
Yeah, so there's a
for
lot of
100
scenarios.
Yeah, but again, follow your scenario, but for us
and your dynamic.
and your
yes.
dynamic.
For
I mean,
us, for
not
our
the
for our
scenario.
dynamic, I don't think you or any other submissive
That-
that I have should
Well-
should touch a door handle. I'm going to get the doors. I'm going to open them. I'm going to close them. You will stand and wait patiently at the door until I get there. That's just how I do things.
Right.
I know a lot of people in our inner circle.
Yeah, we were seeing that the other night when
Yep.
we were all leaving. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
That's so sweet. They opened the door."
Yep.
He said, "I see this all the time."
Let's see here. So you get in the vehicle and you drive. So now you can also set some rules here. You can play around depending on what kind of mood you're in. Do you want to build anticipation while going, especially if you're submissive, don't know where you're going, and maybe they're excited and maybe they're going to be chattery and maybe they, and so you just say, you know what, until we get to the restaurant, don't speak. We're going to listen to music.
I think a better way to do it, because I'm a speaker, is to say, tell me something sexy or a fantasy of
Well,
yours.
you could do that.
But you
You
could,
could.
if you wanted them to.
You could. If
You
it's
just don't like my voice. So you're
no,
like,
if it's a new,
zip it.
if it's a new relationship, you can go to that. Or if it's something you haven't had a communication
I was going to say,
about.
when's the last time we talked about fantasies?
So you can.
Well, we
But
do
again,
on the podcast
build.
every
You
week.
can build anticipation by making them sit and quiet when listening to the
Quiet.
radio, or you can make it an interactive. You can talk, but do not ask questions. So you can kind of set your boundaries there. So you're in the vehicle, you're driving. What kind of fun things could we do while driving? Maybe you do have that remote control vibrator, and maybe now's a good time to turn it on.
Pre-striking before anything else, you're already amping it up in me.
You're already amping it up.
Oh, no.
If you don't have the remote control vibrator, maybe you've got a butt plug in. Well, you know what? Maybe you should play with yourself till we get there. That will build anticipation. That will kind of
get me wet.
Get you all roused up.
What if you're a male? I think that would suck if you're a male and your penis gets hard and then you've got to walk into the restaurant pretending like you're not.
It could. If maybe the dominant says, play with me.
What if I play with you? What happens when your penis is hard?
It's going to hurt.
Which
is why I usually don't want you to play with it, especially when we're going somewhere, unless I know the job can get done.
I love you so much. Works for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else could we do while driving?
Wait. There's more risky stuff, but I think that we should, for the sake of not offending anybody else or making somebody too highly turned on, maybe we shouldn't talk about them.
Yeah, no, fuck that. So a fun game that I would enjoy doing is, maybe you should flash the truck drivers as we drive by. I mean, they're out driving trucks. They're away from home, so you're making me happy. I'm sure you're making them happy too at the same time. They might even honk their horn at you. You don't have to pump your arm.
I'm staying out of this discussion.
Another thing you can do is, maybe remove your shirt. Maybe
I'd be in a bra, so
maybe sit in your bra while we drive. Maybe remove your pants or your skirt, depending on what you're wearing. All of that's below the door level. Can't really see anything, but just knowing the fact that you're in the vehicle and hardly anything.
I mean, it's like wearing a bikini.
Similar.
But it's bra and panties.
Very similar.
That could be a turn on for sure. Nighttime would be even more of a turn on, because then the flash of the light, you're not catching it.
Right.
Those things might be easier in the dark. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It could. Yeah, it's fun though.
Right.
But again, use all
fun.
of that at your own discretion. Yes, you don't want to be, windows down, especially if you don't have tinted windows. Now, my truck's got tinted windows. It is kind of hard to see in. So it wouldn't be as bad, but you do got to be cautious. You don't
want kids seeing you. You don't want, but there are some fun things that
there is some fun things that you can do
that don't involve.
Yeah. I prefer you to just lay back and play with yourself while telling me a fantasy. I think that would be pretty good.
We know it's going to be happening later.
We're going to take a road trip.
All
right, so we get to the place where we're going.
I'm feeling very warm right now. I'm just saying.
We get to the restaurant. This is where this evening is taking place at. We're going to be at a restaurant. So you get there, you pull up, you park. For me, I get out of the vehicle. I come around. I open the door for you.
Which is a trigger for me to be aware of you.
Yep. Then so this is where, for a dominant, your confidence needs to show. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to be confident that your submissive is going to, do the things that has been asked of them. You need to be confident when walking to the restaurant, whether it be in a parking lot. Maybe you got to do a sidewalk to get there. Um, but again, lead with confidence.
Yes.
Stand tall, be proud, and lead with that confidence.
Yep.
Be aware of your surroundings. And by this, is everybody out to get you? No, but anything could happen anytime. Let's say you're in a parking lot. Where does your submissive stand to you while we're walking through a parking lot?
You put me towards the
Uh,
vehicles that are parked
yep,
versus the aisleway where somebody's
yep.
driving.
I will stand closer to the vehicles that are driving. I like to have you to my side and about one step back from me is where I'll like to keep you at.
I'm good being there.
Most of the time we will hold hands, but I am still slightly in the
Yes.
lead.
Mm-hmm.
If we are walking down a sidewalk, I will stand closest to the road. I will put you closer to the buildings. And again, still the same way. I do know some people that do it differently. And this is where I'm going to raise a question to you, our audience, because I am curious. For the Dom, where do you want your submissive to walk? I see it several different ways. If you are to the side and behind me one step, I cannot see your full body. So is that a bad thing? I do know some people want them one step in front of them.
I don't like leading. So that's
Right,
for me, it's an uncomfortable position because then I'm there a half a second before you. So now I'm making the decision
right.
on which way
Which
to
is why
turn.
I like to be one step
Yeah.
behind. But again, I'm
There's times
curious.
when you step aside to let me walk in front, like when somebody's guiding us to a table or whatever. And when you do that, we've been at a bar where you've kind of stepped aside too. And
Right,
I've turned around and went, oh no, I don't want to be in front. You go in
right.
front.
Right. And especially on instances like it where we can't walk side by side, if it's a crowded place, I would rather have you in front of me so that I can see you
I
and in
know.
front of you.
But then
And then I
I'm
can,
leading
and then
the
no, and then
walk.
I can take my hand on your back and kind of lead. And, it's like I'm leading and guiding you.
Yeah, but at 6'2", when you're walking in front,
Right.
people have a tendency to see you and move. And me, 5'4", I might
Right.
not get the same attention.
And then there's times when we're at the club trying to get to, if nobody is leading us, like the hostess or the waiter or waitress or whatever, then I will put you behind me.
Right.
But if there's somebody leading
And I mean,
already,
I'm behind him, like I'm right on top of his back going, okay,
yep.
let's do this. Now that I have a walking stick, it's a combination.
Right. Um, Submissives should keep in mind to try to keep the same pace as their dominant.
Right.
A lot of times I will match your pace depending on,
I have short legs.
yeah. And I don't mind, I don't like walking fast to begin with. And for the people that I have walked with that do walk fast, it becomes a struggle. And then I'll just reach out, grab their arm, maybe reach up, grab a handful of hair and say, you belong back here.
Yeah, so
Stay
you're
with my pace. Right.
correcting if a submissive is starting to lead in a way that
Right.
doesn't fit with you,
If they are out
you'll
walking me,
correct
I
it.
will correct them quick, fast, in a hurry
Yeah.
because I do not like that. I am
But
not
you're
going to
not
walk fast.
correcting them by yelling at them or
No,
belittling them.
belittling.
Ha! That's the word. Phew. So glad I could say that.
You're welcome. Your voice got awful deep when you said it there too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yes, just
I'm
a simple
tired.
grab of the arm. And again, I have, been in a more adult environment and just reached up and grabbed a handful of hair and just, nope, you get back here. But most of the time it's a reach out, grabbing the arm. Hey, sit back here, please.
Yes.
And so we are at the restaurant. Obviously, I'm going to be opening the door. Normally, depending on the type of restaurant, how busy it is, you will usually step inside the door and then step one side or another. And then I will come to the door and then take the lead again
Yes.
to go to the counter, whether we've got reservations or party of two or whatever it is.
I have no desire to be talking to.
Right.
It's your job.
And again, keep in mind, you are at the restaurant. You've got all this stuff in your head now. You've got all these plans. You've got all these great ideas. They may not all work out.
Right.
So, good thing about not a good thing. The thing about being a good Dom is being able to correct and react to stuff that doesn't go to plan.
Yes.
Do not dwell on it. If you have a great idea and it doesn't play out, don't get frustrated. Don't get aggravated. Put it in your back pocket. Save it for the next trip out. Everything that I've always had in my head, whether it be a scene, whether it be a date night out, whether it be whatever we're doing, nothing has ever went exactly to plan. Something has changed. Mindset changed. Maybe the mood has changed. Maybe something has came up. Everything planned for me never goes to the plan. So to overcome it, don't let it bother you. Save it for another day.
Yeah. And this is a situation in which the submissive needs to pay attention to their dom. So something goes wrong and it's not going to plan. I can still be watching you and aware of it.
Right.
I'm obviously we're married. We've been together for a while. I can see your expressions and I can tell by your expressions when something isn't the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
But that allows me to better be to be a better submissive because I'm kind of behind you. I'm kind of paying attention. Now that I've seen your expression change, I could, instead of poking at you or being a brat, I can make the
Right.
choice to quietly wait until you figure out what's going on, make sure that everything goes different.
Right.
So, but it's also so that you can give me hand signals or your look. If I'm stepping out of line and it's no longer within the dynamic, you give me a look, I stop.
Right.
So it's very important for a submissive, like we talked in the last couple of episodes. If your dom is constantly correcting you, you're not being a good submissive.
Right.
This is the same scenario in which the submissive has jobs as well. Like you're doing all the leading, you're doing the planning, you're doing all this stuff. My job is to focus my attention on you and follow the
Right.
tasks you give me. A lot of the tasks you give me are not they're random, but they're selected for a reason, for the night, for the day, for the whatever, because you're trying to guide us into a fun night. And the way you do that is by amping up a little bit at a time and
Right.
by building on this sexual tension or this, our dynamic.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Well, sir,
What?
you've done it again.
Nah, fucking, I do it all the time.
You talk too much.
Yeah, this was supposed to be one episode. But there is a lot of information here, and we want to make sure and get all of our knowledge out.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to take a break. Come back next week for part 2.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.